G'day guys, how's it going? Just doing a quick video on putting the Case Armour onto Max, onto the DR650. Picked these up from Vince Strand Motorcycles, which I think vincestrandmotorcycles.com.au. There it is on the screen. It costs $109 for the pair. They come as a set, and I think they're not. They've got a bit of weight in them, so they're obviously made out of steel. I don't know what type of steel it is. They just turned up in a bag. There was no instructions on how to do it. I had to actually jump on YouTube to find out how to attach them. I was really surprised. I thought, oh, I can't bloody put them on. Where's the thing? What you got to do is you've got to buy this HIGH-TEMP RTV silicone gasket stuff. So it's normally for putting gaskets on like a oil sump or something like that, but that's what you use to attach it. I'm sure there's lots of other different things that you can use to attach it, but that seemed to be the most used way of doing it. Looking in the forums and stuff like that, and basically, I've seen that's the beauty of being able to look at what other people have done, and hence why I like doing this, so that other people can see whether I do it wrong and then they can do it the right way or whatever. Is that this basically, so this is for this side and it'll just sit here. And the whole idea for this is so that, you know, if the bike goes over and there happens to be a rock in that position, it's not going to bust your case and then stuff you totally. The way that Max is set up, especially with this big safari tank, it really protects a lot of the stuff anyway. But you know, you never know. You have that one bloody rock in the wrong spot. Or the brake lever, or more so on the other side, is the gear lever going into the side, which is what happened on Harry. So anyway, that's going to go on there. A lot of people have put a small amount on there and stuck it hard up against there, but it seems to be the idea is to put quite a thick amount on there, push it on, but don't go hard up against the case. Leave it so there's a bit of cushioning, so that if you were to hit it, it absorbs some of that energy out of the rock going in. That seems to be the way. So simply, all I've got to do is, what we've got here is, so we've got the two plates, one knife, bit of duct tape, pair of gloves, a rag, obviously the glue, and a bit of cleaner. Anything to clean that up that's not going to leave a residue. I just use that contact cleaner from Maxima. Does a really good job. You spray it on, well, in this case I'm going to wipe it a bit, but it'll dry off and leave nothing there, so I know that that'll be sweet to put that on. Alright, let's get into it. Gonna break that. Get that ready to go. Knife, and I think we'll cut that nice and thick. I've got plenty of stuff coming out. Give this a spray. I'm just letting that, making sure that's all going to dry up, and I'll get some of these little tape, because basically once I stick that on there, I'll then tape it just to hold it in place while it dries. I'll try and be smart and get some of these ready to go. Now another thing when putting these on that people had mentioned is that having, especially, I think it was especially with this one, is when you put it on, make sure that the stuff's going to ooze out a bit, so then you can wipe it, because you don't want to have any gaps in there where dirt and bloody water and all that can kind of like sit in there. So you want to make it so that all the stuff is flush with everywhere. Alright, here goes. Alright, well hopefully this works. It's very close to that thing there, but that's not touching it at all. I think that's, oh yeah, it's not oozing out as much as what I expected. See, I've got all gaps in around there, which I don't want, so I'm going to pull that back off. Geez, it sticks on there alright. Oh, look at that, pretty. I should have got bloody 2 tubes. I'll build up that edge. Squeezing the shit out of that bloody thing. Now it looks like a bloody mess and a half, doesn't it? That's what I want. Oh. Try and line this up as best as I can. And that's basically what I want. Actually sits there pretty good all by itself, but I'll end up taping it up just to make sure. So, I mean, this is going to fill it all in, but I don't exactly want it to be red going through there, so I don't know what I'm going to do to get rid of that red. I'll have to get a texture or something. I'll get a texture and colour all the red in. Yeah, shit. Holy shit, that looks absolute bloody crap. They also say to make sure you clean it up, because basically once that stuff's on there and it's set, it's pretty hard to get it off. So I'm going to make sure I wipe all the bits that I don't want on there off. Oh, slowly getting there. I think that's it. That was a little messier than what I expected. But anyway, we'll tape this up so it stays in place. Actually, I might get some new stuff. That's one side done. We'll go on the other side now and do the other side. Alright guys, so now to do this next side. Basically got to put all this shit on here. Hopefully I've got enough left in that. Going to do this down here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll just get the main part and then I'll show you what I've got. Oh, bloody hell. Alright guys, so that's what I've got. So obviously I wanted to get it close around here so that I get that seal, so that no dirt or mud or bloody water get in, and the same with on the here. So hopefully I've got enough on there. Oh, this is going to be a whole lot more messier, I reckon. Oh. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Seems to have a pretty good coverage all the way around. Maybe it's in a little bit, but there's no real major pockets. And I suppose the worst part would be up here, where things can come in and then sit in there. Obviously underneath here it'll just fall out, and the same in here. So we'll just clean this up now. Obviously this centerpiece, you've got to make sure you get your little cover cap to be able to come out. I obviously don't want any gasket goo in that thing, which I've just pushed in there. I reckon that part up there is done. Every time I'm wiping it, it's just moving down a little bit, so I'm going to tape that because it's basically where it should be now. God, this shit gets everywhere. It's all over here. Alright, now that that's on there, I can now bloody clean out this centre bit. Well, there you go, guys. That is it. That's a done deal. As best as I can get it, anyway. That's a real bit of a fine art to getting all. Every time you wipe it, bloody, you clean one bit up and then you wipe it onto somewhere else. Oh dear. So a pro tip is make sure you got heaps of rags ready to go, because yeah, that shit gets bloody everywhere. All right, we'll just let that dry. I don't know how long it takes. It's pretty cold at the moment. I think we had a top of only 18 degrees centigrade, which I know is not cold, but it's cold enough. Silicone will be fully cure in 24 hours. Cool bananas. Alright, I'll come back to you soon. Hey guys, while that stuff's drying, I thought I'd show you, because when I bought that Case Armour, I also picked up a couple of things from Vinstrand, and I got this little bolt pack. It's called a bloody Track Pack 2 bolt, Japanese style. Just basically bolts and nuts and stuff that'll suit the DR650. It was $24, but I'll show you, because when I did that Simpson Desert ride, there was 2 bolts that I lost, and I'll just give you a quick shot. I'll show you, and just by buying that, I've been able to put some bolts back in there instead of going down the local bolt shop and just buying one of this and that. So on this exhaust cover, you can see that one there's the original bolt. But out there on that trip, I lost that one out of there. It just vibrated out somewhere along the line. So I've whacked in a bolt. I've put in a couple of extra washers because the bolt was a bit long. But yeah, she's on there now, solid as. And then on the other side, under here, if I can get myself underneath there, see that bolt there? That one came out somewhere along the line as well. So there was a bolt that just went bloody straight in, threaded in, done deal. So yeah, handy little pack to have, whether you throw it in the bloody toolbox or whatever. Now also, I got what they call a service pack. It was $35 for the service pack, and what it gives you is a filter, oil filter, 2 spark plugs. But the main reason why I wanted the service pack was because it actually comes with the rubber seals for the oil filter, and even one for the sump plug. Because when you get an oil filter, it doesn't come with the new seals. So I figured that it'd be good to change them over every now and then. So got that. Also got some spare, or just got some what do you call it, linkages for the chain, just in case it breaks, be able to change it over. I actually got front and rear bearings. I don't need them, but at some stage I'm going to need them. So I thought, oh bugger it, while I was getting all that other stuff, I'd get this as well. Treat myself to a few bloody presents. The other thing that I got was a 13 tooth front sprocket. So when the DR comes stock with a 15 tooth, I've put a 14 tooth on the front, so that it gives it, I don't know, I always get this bloody wrong. When you're puttering along in first gear, it will move faster if you've got a 15. If you put a 13, it brings it down. And then, so when we did the Simpson and going through the French line with all the sand, bloody dunes and all that kind of shit, that was one thing that may have let me down a little bit as well, that the bike wasn't geared up. I know Ken had his, I can't remember, I think he changed the back as well as the front, whereas I've just changed the front, and my one still has the stock, whatever the back one is. So I thought, alright, I'll try going down from the 14 now down to a 13. I'll try that and just see how that makes the gearing. Because that's something that you can do on the fly, like when you get to a place like the French line. I mean, to swap one of these over is really, really easy. So yeah, so I want to whack that on and just see how much of a difference that makes to the bike. Cool. All right. I think that's all the bloody bits and pieces I've got. Always got something bloody happening. All right, guys. I'll be back to you, which will be tomorrow when that's all dried up, and we'll see how it comes up. I've got to work out. I don't like that red stuff. So I've got to work out whether I use the texture like I said, or I get some bloody paint or whatever to put on that, just to hide that red, just maybe silver paint or something like that. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright guys, it's the next day. It's not quite 24 hours, it's nearly 24 hours, but that's pretty much set now. I'll just bring you down here and we'll rip off the sticky tape, and then we'll have a look at it. Alright guys, so far that's a done deal. I'm just now going to go around each of these and I'll just give you a real close look at it, just so you can see how it's been done. I think I've done a pretty good bloody job actually. It's just a shame that you can see that orangey red bloody silicone, but after I show you this we'll see what I'm going to do about that. So this is the left hand side. Now the right hand side. So as you can see, not bloody perfect, but I'm happy that it's all sealed. There's some spots where you can see that it's about that far off it, but it's all sealed all the way along. That would have been the perfect way of doing it, because you wouldn't see all that red stuff, but as you saw, it was a bit of a job putting the bloody stuff on. So now what my plan is to use Pot Belly Black. I was going to use, I've actually got, what have we got here? I've got this touch-up stuff that you can get, you know, for stone chips and stuff on cars, and I've used that on a lot of the bloody bikes and stuff where I've had a scratch. And I thought that'd be really good because that's got the little paintbrush in it, and I'd be able to go around it. I was tossing up what colour, but I think I'm just going to go with black. I could have tried a silver, but if I don't match it the same as the silver on there, I think it'll look dicky. So I'd be better off to go with a flat black. But I thought, shit, that's going to get hot. So if this doesn't handle the heat and it cracks and chips, it's going to be a real job to clean that up and then put something proper on there. So what I'm going to do is go with the pot belly black. That's pretty much a flat black. It has that slight browny tinge to it, not that you can't really tell. So I'm going to spray that into a cap and then just use a paintbrush, one of these, to paint that on. Alright, I'll show a little bit of that and then I'll just go around and get it all done, and then I'll show you the finished product, and hopefully it's good. Alrighty, let's get this bloody painting happening. Spray some of this in here. Oh, might put gloves on. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Well, it looks shit at the moment, but hopefully I can pretty that up. Alright, I'll come back to you when it's all done. Well, there you go, guys. The painting is finished. I've only done one coat. I think I'm going to leave it with one coat. Come over, have a look. Oh, it's not too bad. It doesn't stand out too much. On this side you can see it's a bit more red showing through because I didn't put as much paint on this side. And then on the other side, the black coating's a lot better on this side. So there you go. That's a done deal. That's putting the DR650 Case Armour on. She's a bit rough looking, but it's Max. So I see that as being a bit more Mad Maxy, and that's got to be a good thing. Alright guys, that's about it. I'll see you in the next video, and keep on riding.